Absolutely, here we go. The moment we've all been waiting for, Fnatic and Sentinels facing off. It's just day 2 here, but again, this could be a finals with teams this good from Europe, Fnatic, and Sentinels from North America, of course. Opening up onto Icebox, Fnatic on the attack, and already we'll get an Ice Orb thrown in towards the A site just to create some presence. However, there is movement here towards the B site, though, for Fnatic, as they'll pick up the ultimate orb as well. So at this point, if you're Sentinels, you're not quite sure really what's happening. We do see Shazam getting a quick info grab.
All right, so we'll see what they're doing is they're going forward into the play. So with little technical difficulty, we'll get DD back in just a moment here. 1:10 left on this round. Looks like it's a full B play towards Crane. The walls are set up. Slow play for now. You get a bit of a drone out to see what's happening. A nice job by Sick to get an eye on what the prize could be as they work their way towards B. Fnatic here, not exactly deathballing as Magnum is on the side focus. Alert bot in mid so they can keep the rotation. Like I said, chess game. Expect these rounds to go late and everything to be a pressure play. Execution coming in on to B now. And we'll see if they can make this happen. Everybody rotating around from Sentinels, the team that loves to play the retake. And we'll see what they can produce on this. Looking at Sick. Walls up now, and they can't really make an entry towards that top side. Spike has been planted, and it's a fury to get back in here. Shazam with one on the ghost to Durka, and that's a quick drop. Shazam on the jet for this game, if we haven't already noticed. He's going to be the one making the plays. They're getting the defuse down. Shazam's going to find it. They cut the wire, and they get the first round over on Sentinels. Are on the board with one. Frag still coming through for Magnum. Shazam goes down in the end, but they are happy to pick up a few. Shazam gets an extra $400 for those. And we'll see what they can continue to do. Mystic getting a few, Magnum getting a few. We saw Fnatic wanting to pressure a late round strat to start. Altogether, Magnum on the flank to make sure they could get any stragglers from Sentinels, but Sentinels as well moving accordingly to get back over there and really pressuring, knowing it's very hard to hold B in the beginning. Everybody's either going to be behind yellow or behind any of those toxic screens that are up. They're going to have to force their way through. Dangerous if you don't have weapons. Quickly up to the maze. Tens gets himself right on top of pipes here, and we'll see if he can hear Magnum coming around. So it's a great intel spot. Durka with the Marshall coming up huge. Oh, my word. And I think we have TDK back. There's back. All right, I believe.
All right, straight back into the action. Although we have a nice little calm point here as we get the rotation from Fnatic over towards the B side of the map. Not too much there to defend this, of course. Just Soms playing a retake position. Just looking to hold ground at this point. There's just not that much information for Sentinels, stacking more towards middle at the moment. But they figured it out. The question is, Riv, if they're going to be able to really stop this. Fnatic, one of the things that they do best on this map is playing those post-plant lineups. And it looks like they shouldn't have too much of an issue in getting the plant that they're looking for here with that Viper utility down on the ground.
And they've gone for that kind of partial buy here. Coming into the second round, the spike plant and extra money makes them feel good about putting a little bit of investment here into this second round. Toxic screens start to go up as Boaster gains a little bit of ground. He does not have a shock dart for another 3, but he gets into position to fire that off here as Durka takes another one down. Dapper falls.
Yeah, force to push in here, Sentinels. They know they have to make the action happen here. If they allow everybody to fall back off of the spike into those post-plant positions, it's going to be very tough indeed. And that's what's beginning to happen here. Fnatic, with good positioning overall, Boaster playing around yellow, can sense the presence here of Sentinels as they start to make the move forwards. Boaster's able to at least deal with one. 2 more players here for Sentinels as they get the pressure on, but Zoms, he's going to have to try to stick this, and he's going to be burning in the acid. Oh. Not a great look for him. Fnatic, really, really well done by them. I mean, I just love seeing the discipline. You know, once they got that advantage on the player, advantage, sorry, they were able to, slow take that B site. They didn't rush things. They tried to, put up the utility, see if that would bait a response. Once they understood what was happening, they just make their way, methodically forward to get that wall up for the safe plant. Just very disciplined stuff here from Fnatic, looking really tight on these pushes so far.
Looking happy as well on their side. The end of those getting pretty gritty. Fnatic holding strong. And we got to remember they played Crew yesterday. They're feeling pretty good as they are on the stage. Shazam and squad on Sentinels in their first game. trying to put these frags in. We'll see what they can do. Now 1-1, as that was an awesome eco round to put Sentinels on their heels coming into round 2. See, it's another B strat here. They're feeling comfortable. They feel like the challenge and getting face-to-face with Sentinels is in their favor. So Fnatic go towards B again.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard to deny this site take if your Sentinels with so little in the way of equipment. We do have the knives out from Shazam. He's able to nail Durka. Around the side he goes. Shazam is annihilating everybody with the ultimate. And that's going to cause a lot of problems here. 2 players left, Doma and Magnum, as they try to swing their way around. The pressure's coming in, though. The spike gets tapped, and forced to fight is Magnum, and he will not be able to deal with the numbers. Sentinels lock it in, thanks to Shazam's heroics.
Oh my, already this game is delivering. Dueling third round Blade Storm coming in from Durka and Shazam. Let's see more of that. 2-1 coming in. What a round for both teams there. Love to see the aggression. Love to see that both teams are not giving an inch. It wasn't waiting for the plant. They were pushing in before they knew what the actual hit was because of the information gained on both sides. Toxic screen, schmoxic screen. Boom! The flex on for Shazam there, and an amazing play as the team followed up. And Sentinels feeling good, but I feel like this is going to be a very back and forth game, Dan.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And in terms of momentum, though, I'm loving that for Sentinels because that's got to feel good. And Fnatic, not with the best equipment in the world. Both are on the Ghost there. We'll see what they're able to accomplish here. Going for the pressure towards B long. They don't have to commit into this. They don't really have presence elsewhere on the map, but they're going to pick up the ultimate orb, and Shazam's going to be here with the operator. Oh, he actually whiffs that one, and he can't get away. That is a huge opening early on now for Fnatic, going up 5 against 4, and with a minute on the clock to play with as well.
It's so big because we see it's already a recuperation buy with still some Spectres. It was 1 for 1 as we went into round 2, which means it was an eco. Sentinels was building back up, and the op investment after that back and forth economy, it needs to at least return something. So great job by Fnatic to start off there, make it really sting on this round to start. And it's going to be Sentinels to pick this up and find that off if they can. Doma says, not this time, though.
Yeah, great moves going up on the wall in the toxic, rather in the poison orb. That's so smart. Really creates problems here. There's not much left now for Sentinels, leaving just sick after Zombs goes down. And Fnatic, you know, you said it's going to be very back and forth, and it's looking like Fnatic have such a strong response. Shazam, after having such a great round just previous, struggling to connect that one shot, and that was all it took. That opportunity going to Fnatic. They knew how to play out that man advantage. And again, it's that methodical approach towards that B side that's been causing some issues. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of adaptation coming through from Sentinels, where maybe they invest more to try to actually aggressively take B long. Or they can play retake on B as well. There's definitely a few different options available to Sentinels if they want to try to mix things up. If they feel like they're not having too much luck here on B long.
Just quickly encroaching in. The play right now for what we see coming in from Fnatic is, okay, they're going to give us enough room to make it all the way up Crane, even to yellow, get a toxic screen, our Sage wall up, and be able to plant. They're so happy to take the after fight. They have a really great post plant so far. So doing that each time, you saw the spike go towards B at the beginning of this one as we were watching the replays, but this time it sits behind A for one of the first times. And they've only been here to pepper A, Fnatic that is. Now it looks like they may actually commit to the site, and we'll see how Sentinels reacts in round 5.
I have the spike.
Drone comes through. Durka watching patiently within high ground. Now the question is, do Sentinels want to just... In fact, they are going to full hold this. They're not going to try to retake at all. It looks like it's all on the line right here on the side.
Spike down A.
And there goes the lockdown. That's going to force them back out. So they wanted to fight for this rip, but they're going to get denied by that lockdown. So that's actually had massive value.
Util to come up. Shock Dart come in from 6. Shazam goes down, though, as they're still waiting for a little bit of find to get back into this site. Maybe a sonar bolt to make it happen. 4v4 on the retake as Durka takes aim from all the way on the back of steps.
Boaster, great
So well
line
set
on that
up.
Hunter's Fury, absolutely. And also he has the ability to go for this late lurk, this flank. It has been detected. Dapper's looking for it on the back. He's actually going to take down Boaster, and there goes the spike tapped. It's going to be Fnatic having to force the issue, moving closer now. They've got to close the distance because the stick seemed to be coming, but Tens comes off a bit to get the frag, to prevent the trade. Has to stick it again. Does he have time? Can he make it work? Oh! Fnatic able to take that one. My goodness, that was so very close, down to the milliseconds. But Fnatic, they pull it out of the back rib, 3-2 for them.
Beautifully played by Fnatic on that one. I love the way they're setting up around the ultimate. They got back for Boaster to be able to do a nice Hunter's Fury, cause chaos in the site. And you see the power of Sentinels retake there. And what I think is extra awesome is Fnatic right now is, again, getting to the site pretty much as fast as they can and getting the plant down, which puts Sentinels in their retake position. And Fnatic, they're still not letting Sentinels get the retakes in. So doing a great job at that while Sentinels is even trying to play their game still.
And we may have one of those more sleepy rounds where it's just a few pistols, but the Sheriffs can be quite dangerous, especially in a map like Icebox. We have all these open ranges. These cheeky Sheriffs can certainly cause problems. I think a good initial objective for Sentinels is to get a couple kills if they possibly can find a way to do so. Dapper's able to find some jiggle action around Yellow. He will have to back away though. He's managed to actually bait out some utilities, so he's gotten a lot of information. That's going to allow his teammates to respond here. Sentinels will have players in position to maybe deal with this, but all of this utility is certainly hard to cut through.
Boaster got so much good vision in mid. He droned all the way under tube into a kitchen, seeing Viper, both of Zoms and I believe Sick back there. So they have a great idea of what kind of utility they'll be facing after seeing the slow orbs. Fnatic is doing a great job of just getting in the mind of Sentinels here before these rounds start, which is why it looks like they're moving so seamlessly into B each time. And a nice Viper bite to get a frag there onto Dapper.
Oh my god, all the Viper rolls coming through here, and it's just an absolute mess, but there's no one on the spike just yet. You can see Zom's not quick enough to deal with the second Nano Swarm. Got the first one though. Sick able to take down Magna, makes it a 3v3, but time is against Sentinels on this retake. Bosa's trying to push the issue, find his way forward towards the spike. He's dealt with the issue there, and that will be Fnatic picking it up. And Ace coming through, great stuff there. My goodness.
All right. Our first round separation. Does Sentinels claw back, or can Fnatic add a little padding? It looks like they have the momentum too. They're starting to figure out again. See, they get right to the site once they can. They only need a little bit of info to do that. And then they set up to play that game of chess as they back up throughout all of this utility. Like we said, utility heavy, right, Dan? Site takes as they get back in. High fives, fist bumps all around from Fnatic as they start to take a bit of a lead.
Definitely. Oh, I love this from Shazam as well, going deeper right at the beginning, looking for those opening picks with the operator, trying to mix up those angles so you can catch your opponents off guard. Doesn't get anything this time, except some early information, and we'll see just a default coming through here from Fnatic, slowing things down on the attack, seeing if they could catch any early plays from Sentinels. I think at this point it would make a lot of sense that Sentinels would be trying to do something in the early round, but they are actually holding passive for now.
It might be one of those 30 seconds again, right as 30 seconds hit, slam the site, get it down, pressure the utility usage, and again, fight within that chaos. There's the 1 minute mark going through. So using utility here would kind of leave you at a weird moment, having utility come back every 30 or so seconds for controllers and whatnot, but it looks like that's when they want to execute. So they're going to plant shortly after this, unless they're drawing things out of Sentinels on this, or Fnatic, sorry.
And actually going through towards A, actually.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good early defense coming through from Tens, and Shazam knocking down everybody here for Fnatic. Very little left to work with. Boaster and Durka is all that remain, and time is against them here as well. Shazam, he doesn't stop. Another one for him. That's all Durka can do to maybe get a couple kills there, keep some damage there, but Shazam finishes it off with style. Lovely stuff. And it was interesting, because we had what looked like, typically, Magnum's going to be playing towards A with the Killjoy turret trying to deny information. And I think, you know, there is a general tendency to try to set up towards B here. You know, we've seen that preference already from Fnatic. And this being the first time that they actually do try to go A. And I feel like it almost feels like a bait, you know, sending Magnum towards A for that presence. So you're almost not convinced, I feel like. But Sentinels managed to work this really effectively thanks to Shazam.
And the focus was to get the operator back in his hands as soon as possible. They know what kind of control it puts on the site, and it stops aggression really well. We know that. It's one of the things the operator does best, is it shuts down aggression. What a shot coming in there from Shazam. Tens answers as well as they start to take a few at a little bit of an econ buy here as they farm down Fnatic for round 8.
Yeah, that's the scary thing with the A side, isn't it? You're going to be running into Tens and Shazam. So, yeah. Very scary prospect, especially given that the operator has been out for some time. Fnatic, you know, you may expect them at this point, you know, given how much they've been shut down on around A, that maybe they would start working that B1 control early again. So then, you know, the mind games start to come through, and there's a couple options. Either Sentinels do what they've been doing, which is just actually generally playing fairly passive across the board. Or they actually try to anticipate Fnatic going back to B, and there's no guarantee of that. But it looks like that is happening. We've got early presence here towards that B long position, Riv.
Yeah, we're hot in. Durka's hurt. He got a quick peek in, took an op shot from Shazam. He'll get healed up there by Doma, so they're taking a second to reset. Get themselves back into position. Now, the operator, as I said, shuts down aggression, but it's also probably going to draw a little bit more utility out of Fnatic. So they got to figure out what Shazam's first shot is, where that operator then moves to, because it usually goes to a second spot. And you can see now he's creeping over towards under mid. Going to see if he can route what usually is the rotation here from Magnum, and we'll see if it pays off. Smoke goes down, though, so they're going to be covered on the rotations. Nice job by Fnatic, keeping everything in mind around the map as they move silently.
I love the cutting of noise here. Just try to see if there's anything coming from Sentinels, but they themselves, again, have been showing that they don't really want to take any chances, just keep continuing to play passive, not taking risks. And that's a fantastic find there, and there's a res. That means that they know that there's at least 2 players around A main. That might make them think that there's action towards A, but at the same time, here comes the play towards B. So quite confusing, but 20 seconds to go here, Riv, and soon the game will be given away for Fnatic with this plant on B.
Look, the size of B always allows it a site that 5v5 are alive once the spike goes down. Here we are for that play. Spam just through the underside of the box where Zoms can cut it. The heal, or rather Rez comes in down to Shazam now, and they are cleaning up a bit at the site as the trades go back and forth, Dan.
Yeah, lovely stuff. Fnatic running out of time there, unfortunately for them. Sentinels really holding on to things. And again, you know, Sentinels they're doing such a good job without information. They're just so confident in how they can retake positions together that they're not really putting anything to chance. And there's a lot to be said for playing that style, you know, because you're giving up information to do it. And the cost of doing that is that you feel a bit safer. But hey, you know, they're really making it work in this matchup so far on Icebox. And this is a retake-heavy map. And so far, they're showing confidence there.
Whoa. Confidence on both sides here. We see Shazam going up with his operator. Hunter's Fury there for Boaster. Blade Storm and Empress available. Shazam just on point with the quick flicks right now as you see him switching back and forth.
Yeah, he is really nailing people there. Lightning fast with those flicks indeed. Again, he is a deterrent on that A site, and Fnatic once again going to Old Comfort, that B site.
Yep.
I love the wall here. That's going to really delay any split attempts. So that just messes with the timings here for Fnatic. They're going to be forced to make their way forward, though. Magnum with a great creep forward takes down Zoms. Dapper might be in with a chance here as he wants to try to harass them, but now down to 3 players. Dapper has to survive. He's got to keep his team anchored on this site for a retake.
I love the way they altered this strat a little bit from the side of Fnatic. Usually that wall is up when they get into the site. This time it's down and they say, how much room will you give us, Sentinels? It was quite a bit of room, but here comes Shazam once again. We've seen it before. Another one, but he's over at yellow. That's Mystic. That's the round. We're tied up once again at 5-5.
Impressive stuff from Fnatic. Really nice recovery. The forward push coming through around B was just fantastic. Really opened things up there for them in what was otherwise a fairly dire situation.
Yeah.
Again, Shazam and Tens, they've been they've been formidable on that A side. It feels very hard to gain entrance. And we might see, once again, early presence placed on that A site. Look at, judging by the minimap.
Looking at the economy, looking at that timeline, it is going to be another purchase here. Sentinels do go down, but Shazam puts an extra $200 in his pocket as they aggress. It was Fnatic taking a bit of ground. Now Sentinels is saying, we'll take that ground first and do quick pepper shots as Durka drops it. Shazam goes down.
Yeah, that first pick was totally gross. Now it's up to Tens to hold this one down. He's got Sick as well. Sick is going to get taken out by Durka, and Tens is going to go forward. He doesn't really have much choice. So with that said, after the dust settles, there's only 2 players remaining now for Sentinels in this retake. But only 3 to deal with, so it feels quite doable for them. As Dapper presses his way forward, but the Viper's pick coming through is certainly going to make life more difficult here for Sentinels. Som's up above, trying to find his way forward, but I think he's got sprayed straight through. That's heinous stuff from Fnatic, working out quite nicely. 6-5 as they look to try to take advantage going into the final round of the first half.
Mystic on the Viper, 12-6. Shazam, 17-10. Both doing for what they can for their teams to bring these frags out. The trade from Shazam, but Durka, again, we saw it in their first match where he just kept picking up kill after kill. He's a madman when it comes to opening up the site for Fnatic, and everybody rides that wave right behind him. We saw it right there for the round to pick up number 6 as we head to round 12. Can Sentinels tie it up?
Yeah, Shazam actually looking for something in mid, or we haven't seen him really doing this before, so it could catch Fnatic off guard, especially if they have a mid-round rotation after the default. And maybe you see a player peel off from either the B or the A pressure, and Shazam will be able to catch one of those players, but not finding too much just yet. Going beyond the poison orb, Shazam really looking for that opening pick here.
I mean, they don't have to do much more on this round. With him pushed up that far, there's no way they come back around him. So he's good to always peek that side. Luckily enough, the spike's just to his right, and they're going to make sure nothing is encroaching into the sites. Sentinels more than happy to let the Spectre in the partial buy here in their last round bring Fnatic a little closer to these angles. That's going to be one frag. Shazam probably knows there's more behind that jump as they're looking to rotate to either site, but he may have to move now that he got found out.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, huge pick, and it almost seemed like they try to punish the fact that he was there as opposed to A, and then they walk into Tens. So only 3 players left for Fnatic as they make their way into that B site now. And there's not much time left here. Durka, nice opening pick, following it up as well, but it's up to Mystic now. 10 seconds to plant this spike. He might just be able to get this down, but he's got Shazam there. Just such a presence on that B site, and that is Sentinels tying things up at the end of the first half, 6-6.
The operator came in huge for Sentinels. The way that Fnatic was executing on the sites, able to get in, they were only having small windows to make those frags happen, and a small window is all Shazam needs. Over and over, we saw it on every site take, and Shazam was a very big key factor in making sure they were able to get that round.
Shazam's on 20 kills after the first half. That's not a bad start at all. My goodness.
Yeah.
You love to see that if you're a Sentinels fan.
Well, it's 6-6 now. And look, back and forth, almost trading round for round. There were a few pockets there where teams were getting in the groove, but we'll see if Fnatic can start to pick up this pistol. They have the wall, the intention's there on the side to block something out if they want to push, and you can see where they already have Doma and Durka pushed up to. They say, well, it's going to be here, block them off immediately. and will stop their strat, so they have to call strat number 2. Looks like they'll back
Yeah.
off of this, actually, without seeing any pressure yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, if you're familiar with Fnatic's playstyle, and there is a lot of information out there with all these setups that they like to play, it could be a good way to isolate a couple players, knowing that they'd be playing these spots. Dirk will be committing this defense from yellow, and there's the swing, gets the dink, but Tens has the ghost advantage, and there goes the spike down. Sentinels in great advantage now. They've got the clock playing against Fnatic, as well as the post-plant positioning, and an extra player as well. So looking very nice so far from Sentinels.
Looking for Dapper. 30-second heal for him. Abilities coming back up. Sick. Looking to take some shots from the right. His 10's now firing forward and finds one in 2. Boaster on the flank now. This could actually be huge as he's turned around on by Zombs. Who's going to win that fight?
The timing. Boaster doing some damage there. It's up to Mystic now to try to do this. There's 2 players to worry about. Oh my goodness, Mystic somehow makes that one work. Perfect timing.
He's got
Does
it.
he have enough though? Does he have enough time for this deep use? It's close! Oh, not quite! Mystic,
0.02.
such a good effort, but it's not going to work out, Riv.
Oh my word, he cut the wrong wire. We saw it right there. His hand slipped. Holy moly, the .02s are coming out now. Okay, that is just something else. What a round. Mystic again, having one of these rounds where he just puts himself in the spotlight. Oh, it was just under that point. Unfortunate. Sentinels pouring one out on that one. They feel good to see that come into their favor. The pistol round goes to Sentinels.
Ooh, Marshall coming out. I like it from Durka. Marshall is dangerous.
Here.
Desperately looking for this one. They're actually going to challenge this, Riv. This feels
Yeah.
quite scary. Durka will go down, though.
Ooh.
But Doma is there to represent.
Quick shot to the Doma. Another shot to the Doma. Almost gets another one. Zombs takes him down, and they're going to be taking the site now. Boaster looking to get some early damage in, just misses out on Zombs. And a great flank hold here by Shazam, but he's not going to find anything just yet, so it's a wonder if they'll take it all the way back.
Last player standing.
Ooh. I don't know if they'll have to, but it looks like they're still going to. You can see Fnatic discussing on the other side, saying, all right, not a problem. You know, they know what they did wrong in that round. Let Mystic play this one out. And they're still doing good damage on these rounds. They do get the Marshals, they get a few Sheriffs, they drop Dapper, they drop 10s. They know as well, you see Sens is just getting into their eco rounds, a little bit of a bonus. So, or not eco rounds, sorry, just the bonus. And that will hurt for their next buys. If they're able to keep the operator off Shazam and things like that, it is a very big boon for them. Woo!
Great shots there. And as you say,
Oh.
getting in the damage, just making it feel as aggressive as possible. It's really important. Definitely goes a long way, especially at this level. And that B-long play from Durka and Doma will be quite crucial to Fnatic's success. You can see the drone will tag Durka. You can see that Sentinels understand this. They want to always force this setup back because they want to deny the information from Fnatic. And they can do whatever they want after that. But you can see that the drone opening makes it fairly safe and not too much of an investment for Sentinels to do that.
Yeah.
And they know that they kind of have to do that because of, again, if you've studied Fnatic, you'll see Durka and Doma with those close B setups.
It's that chess play. You have to figure out what the move is before you can take an advance somewhere else, right? You got to see a few steps ahead. I mean, if they just went to hit A there, the push is pretty intense coming in from that side of Fnatic. There's shots coming to start the round as they trade 1 for 1.
And here comes the play more forward in towards this A site now. Fnatic have to try to defend this. Don't think they want to play retake. Bosa in a forward position will get taken down. Nice trade though from Durka. Has that Vandal to work with. And Fnatic have this backside control mostly still to play with, so that's a good omen for them. But Zombs is up close and personal with Spectre running out of bullets though, and the trades keep on coming through. Fnatic still with a chance here, but Tens is making it impossible. Fantastic finish from him. And that said, I did really enjoy Mystic, with that forward push rib, I think perhaps that is to punish the fact that they know that Sentinels will invest towards B long fairly heavily at that early timing, so it's safer for him to walk out that far.
Absolutely. Grabbing info is one of my favorite things. If you're not doing it, I feel like it's a problem. So anywhere to get it, Mystic's able to use that perfectly, especially as the Viper to cut off positions. Hits around. Oh, by other Zoms. And that's why we actually see Viper a lot. You're changing the complete view of
this. Would be a round if there were to be any rounds featuring shenanigans. This would be a good place for it for Fnatic.
Exactly. They'll get 2,900 on that side of Fnatic. If they lose this round, they will be able to buy next, no matter what here. Dapper's going to start off with the Phantom as they start trading. And again, Sentinels focus that crane area at belong.
Yeah, it really seems once again they know that they can get those kills there because Durka and Doma have been playing that forward setup very consistently. And so if you know you can get a couple kills there, you can go for it.
Doma pushing out the back. Fnatic doing a great job of saying, hey, nothing to really lose this round. Let's move as a bit of a death ball. They break off one just so Doma can come from a different angle here. He should have his heal by the time he gets back around. And now I think they're going to both work underneath. Unless they save this into the next round. That could also be a play and just do a bit of damage on the way out, since this is such a hard retake. When you are retaking B, you need to invest a lot. In the beginning, I think a lot of teams didn't take B because it was just so open. It was hard to break off, really get a good strategy in, or make a util work, because it ended up with everybody just peeking out of B long and then it becoming a family photo firefight over and over. Here, the split with the toxic screen, so good. They're able to spam through it with a little bit of knowledge of what's coming. And Mystic will save that Vandal overall on this round. Whoa.
Oh, that was close. I was looking at the minimap and I was like, is he going to survive?
He tucked in his arms and legs. Hands, feet, arms inside the ride at all times. 10-6. Sentinels really creating a gap for themselves here with 4 up as we come into round 17.
Yeah, definitely doing a great job, but if we're going to see a turnaround, obviously there's not too many more opportunities for Fnatic, but this would be a great one. They've gotten a fairly good sense of what Sentinels have been doing into their first buy round. We go now, we'll see the operator is going to be out in the hands of Shazam, so that might be a new challenge. 3 players here. Once again, that B long presence is maintained by Fnatic. They really want to win this. Durka actually going forward, gets the dink. Doma finishing off 10s. Rez comes through though, and Sentinels getting a lot of action towards this B long position once again. And maybe even asking questions through the tube. Mystic has to try to respond in mid here. They've got to get something back, but it's just failing here, Riv. There doesn't seem to be anything for them.
10s drops them with the way the econ is flowing here, Dan. This means I think 3 members of Fnatic are going to have a very hard time buying coming into this round. That would be Durka, Boaster, and Magnum. I believe Mystic and Doma had a few extra bucks in their pocket just from saving up or the way they bought their utility, but that means rounds become harder. Fnatic has to find a way to make these eco rounds count a little bit more because the bank of Sentinels is growing. And when Sentinels feel like they have control of the game, that means everyone is vibing. You don't need it to be a 10s. You don't need it to be a sick. And honestly, the IGL of Shazam right now is stepping up with the operator for the team if you were to look.
And it seems like there's such a good read here from Sentinels as to how Fnatic want to play and where they can get their opening kills, because they've been reliably doing that. We do see Shazam getting taken out early on here in that forward position around Belt, and that's going to be some small consolation for Fnatic to work with, but they don't have good weaponry. They're going to try to get that weapon. Zoms with the punish. Great flick onto Boaster. That will even the numbers up. And in the meantime, Sick has made his way towards B.
They've already got their way in. Here come the abilities. Utilities out. Dapper with a great kill onto Durka. And now Mystic's going to do what he can. He's been fantastic in these situations, but alone now, he tempers himself to not, or make sure rather, he does not go down. Here comes the retake from both sides. Still a little bit tentative on the side of Fnatic as they watch their flanks, and it looks like they may allow this round to go through. Oh, Mystic.
Threading the needle there with that Spectre.
Lighting the fuse.
This is getting quite awkward now. 3v3. Soms' Viper's Pit is out of the picture, but Mystic has his... Oh, no.
Oh my God.
Magnum with the
timing.
timing.
My God.
Oh, that's a spike too. You hate to see it.
Perfect
Not
play from Magnum.
1 enemy remaining. I have this one.
This round is something else right now, Dan.
There's no time here really for Tens, is that? And that Viper's Pit is so much to work against. But maybe you can get a frag out of it at least. That's the goal at least. Nope, then there it is. It's over. That's a wrap.
Super smart play there by Fnatic, taking it slow. The fact that Mystic didn't fully commit at any time and he was still creating pressure. Viper does so much there. And really, props to Mystic there, and then props to Magnum for coming up huge, finding Sick with patience. Patience was the play there for Fnatic.
Yeah, such brilliant timing on that wraparound, and such an important round to pick up as well. Fnatic, you know, we've been describing that they're definitely on the struggle bus. And, you know, Fnatic, you know, with the usual tricks, they're the slow orb, deep B long, that gives control for them, and that usually allows them to run the forward setups that they have been running. But this time, they'll be leaving the operator on that one with Durka and having more presence towards the A side of the map, where Sentinels are putting all of their focus. So it works out quite nicely for Fnatic. But the question is, do Fnatic want to play retake, or do they want to try to hold the A site proper? Because you know, those are two very different things. Boaster does have Hunter's Fury, so he might want to get out of the sites and play retake with that.
Yeah, that's a good eye. 3 ults on both sides. Blade Storm and Empress on the side of Sentinels. That Hunter's Fury res and lockdown. Are we going to see that here divide the site a little bit? Hunter's Fury will come first to hold the lockdown if it really becomes necessary with the spike play, and Zombs will fall. Eagle Eye Boaster comes up big.
Huge pick off to get. Oh, Mystic goes in as well, finds Shazam, and there is a huge opening here now for Fnatic. But speaking of which, Tens is going forward. The trade comes through though. Then Fnatic are holding on wonderfully. That's such a great hold from them. Couldn't have gone any better. They only lost a single player.
Doma there.
Such a great hold. That Hunter's Fury really did come in handy as well. Taking out the Viper is always a nice way to start off.
So cleanly played. Fnatic definitely aren't pressuring themselves into anything they don't want to. They're playing it smart, like we saw with Mystic the other round, letting Sentinels in a little bit, giving them a false sense of security as they make it in. Doma will pop out, somebody else will pop out, and we'll see that it is just not able to be held by Sentinels at that time. But it is still Sentinels up currently in the game itself. As you see the series score on your screen, we have a little bit of a tech pause here as we get to kind of discuss what's been going on. It has been that game of chess, a lot of work towards the B site, and the operator sending a message has started to come out. Shazam's been doing it, and now we see Durka with the op here. He's also been buying marshals on save rounds.
Yeah, for sure. Love to see that. That's definitely a confidence statement.
Yeah.
What's curious now is, you know, what is the answer for Sentinels? Because momentum certainly has shifted into the hands of Fnatic. And
absolutely.
So the question is, you know, Sentinels, do they want to go back to B and just force the issue there? They know that Durka and Doma like to play aggressively there. There's usually that slow orb that goes there from Fnatic at the early point of the round.
Get out of my way.
There's a lot of money for Sentinels right now. They lose this, they can still buy. So Fnatic really need to keep chipping away at the block. Shazam to peek. This is the drone. This is the one they were doing a few rounds ago from the side of Sentinels to make sure B long is clear. This area is theirs. And just some fundamental peeks here, making sure the Leer is out and the toxic screen. So everything's been the same so far. How do they vary it up? How do they change it from here? The reaction from Fnatic has been to allow them in. Mystic will call what utility he's seen, how it's being used, and then they'll have a pretty good idea of what they can do as a rebuttal.
There
we go.
They are very barely surviving. Yeah, they're really committed. I think that they realized that when they double up drafted and didn't see Durka here with the operator at yellow, that meant that he was elsewhere on the map, and they can't cross back now. And they know that. So Sentinels, it's not ideal for them, but they can still make this one work. It's very, very sketchy. Oh, a couple kills coming through for Fnatic through all of the smokes that are down, and just, it's no man's land. It's very difficult to get across to a planting position here for Sentinels. They're really working against it, and it only gets worse. The knives come out from Shazam with 33 health left. She gets hit through the toxic screen, no less. That's not a good look for Sentinels. Zoms takes down one, but there's too much to deal with. Fnatic looking very strong there, and that's one of those things, Riv, where it's like, you know, Shazam got the double up draft, spots that Durka is not be long, and so I think they just understand that he's playing mid there, and it has that cross. So they have a decision to say, well, if he's not there, then we have some advantages in the early timings towards B, because, you know, Durka's not going to be able to do anything, but at the same time, we can't go back.
Screen. Yeah. Right,
Unless
well, they didn't have a flank, right? That's one of the big things. If they'd committed without anybody behind them, Sentinels have to retake just about everything, which becomes very, very tough. You know, we see the killjoy here for Fnatic, not for Sentinels. They don't even have the Cypher over there, so it's been difficult if they have not taken an area. A lot of frags to come out here to start with a res, and Magnum firing down the sights, able to take out two.
Huge kills. Big fight around middle here from both teams. And it looks like Fnatic are coming out ahead. 2 versus 3 for Sentinels. Up tube goes Zoms, perhaps, trying to dodge the drone. And Sick needs to make some plays as well. He's crept his way through that B-site. Oh, he's been spotted by the turret. Feels bad. Now he just has to hit the shots. And it's Sick after all. That's a fantastic shot onto Magnum. Leaving it up to Zoms with a minute to play with. He's got the spike. He's going to make his way towards this A site. And there is a real chance here for Zoms. He knows that his opponents will not be anywhere near this A site. He knows he'll have quite a bit of space to maneuver here in this post plant, but it's going to be a tough one.
No util left. Poison orb out. That's going to pop, and he'll be able to play that a little bit now. One peek. Oh, just gets the ADS in that goes over the head of Boaster, who's got it locked in. Beautifully done, Fnatic. Bring it a little closer to bring us near that tie game of 11-11. Remember, coming into this round, Fnatic still has a bit of money built up. I'm sorry, Sentinels has a bit of money built up. I believe next round is still a buy for them, if I remember correctly. So, again, Fnatic chipping away here at what Sentinels had built up. That might have been a few rounds ago. Let's see what the buys are here.
Yeah, Durka's openings as well have been really difficult to deal with. Just even if he's not, we saw in one of the previous rounds, even the fact that he wasn't where he was expected, that was actually kind of an issue because he was playing mid instead and was cutting off that rotate. And then in this round, that quick peek in mid once again. So Durka's showing a lot more presence towards mid early rounds. And that can mean a lot of different things. But does it mean that mid should be avoided entirely for Sentinels? Because that might be one of the normal reactions you'd expect. Sentinels are working the A side, but Mystic is so quick across the zip line. He's able to take down 10s for free and get out of there. That's a huge problem here, Riv. Fnatic are coming back massively, and Sentinels need something huge themselves to start working something back into this one, lest they lose this first map.
Fnatic are doing a great job as soon as Sentinels get to a site of just kind of info denying. Sentinels want to know what they're up against, what's happening. And then, on a spur-of-the-moment round, boom, one of them goes forward and drops 10s immediately in the round. An unexpected thing. There's been no precedent set by Fnatic that they're going to be doing that. So varying it up, Fnatic is really starting to put things into the mix here to make sure Sentinels has to think twice. And Mystic, again, pushes up.
Not much left in the tank here now for Sentinels. Shazam against 4 players. And looking for that initial damage. Nice shot onto Boaster, but there's much more to be done, and they know exactly where he is now. There's no more element of surprise to work off of. As Shazam starts to work his way around, and all his opponents have to do is stick together and not give him any opportunities. There's a turret laid down. Shazam, he knows he can't do too much here. He's going to be able to get this spike planted for the extra money at least.
Here they come. Oh, dear.
Dashing out. That almost looks like there was an opportunity there for Shazam, but
a glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel. Shut down, yeah. There it is.
Tied up.
Oh, my word, Dan. These rounds, nail-biting each time. There's really the utility use coming into each site, and then seeing how the second usage of utility is there to make sure that it can work even better than last time. You're varying it up so the teams aren't seeing the same thing. Here, Mystic again pushes up after a quick play to drop 1, gets 2 more after 10s. So what an impact round from him. And multiple impact rounds defending B. A lot of credit to Mystic. And they're vibing on the side of Fnatic right now. You'd have to be after this many rounds in a row.
Yeah, definitely. Everything they're doing is working, and Dirk is back to his normal positioning here, watching after B-Long with that operator. He'll be spotted by the drone. And we might see the lurk up mid here coming through from TenZ, and Dirk was looking for a play under the tube, but TenZ has gone up into kitchen. This could be, this is the X factor in this round. We'll see what Dirk can do, holding on to Yellow in the ice orb, but he's able to get himself the kill, and he's still sticking around with the cloud burst with the knives out. It's definitely a dangerous prospect for Sentinels, but they'll deal with him eventually.
Dapper takes down Dirk ahead in the clouds for the moment as TenZ gets Magnum. It looks like Sentinels put themselves in a good spot for this round accordingly. And that's going to be the Viper's Pit going down. Dapper's in it. He'll plant, and let's see how this post plant is set up with Mystic getting a frag as the Hunter's Fury comes across as well.
Just coordinating things here, getting the res. A brief period of calm as they set up the retake. Fnatic. Very scary stuff. And there goes the Hunter's Fury. That's going to be very problematic here for Fnatic. You can see Shazam able to take down both. They're wrapping around. Doma's able to find one. The trade comes through. Magnum taps the spike. Forces out some util. Out the Viper's Pit. He perfectly baited Sick there.
Oh my God.
Almost gets the next one as well. And that is it. Can he find the time? No, not quite. Didn't get it up to halfway. It was a great attempt. And somehow Sentinels, they pick up around. It had to be this one, obviously. Fnatic in so much trouble there.
Oh my word. So hard to run in that deep snow. There was no way he was getting away. Wow. Everybody playing hard as well. The teamwork coming through from each side. Everybody playing their little parts in these rounds from Sentinels and Fnatic to now bring us to our final round, or a possible another tie to bring us to overtime on the day. Cannot wait to see. Already on the edge of our seat here for game 1 of this series as NA again takes on EU, and we're almost through Icebox. Round 24 on the board here. Can Fnatic keep it going?
Shazam with the Bladestorm out is looking after mid at the moment. Not much play around here. It's worth mentioning there's no operators on the field at the moment. The weaponry, not the best if you're Zoms on that Bulldog, but I'm sure you can find an upgrade soon. And Sentinels with this mid presence is quite useful in terms of gathering that information early on. And it's a delayed take into B-Long as well, coming through now from them as well. But Magnum's actually going and asking some questions. Does get tapped by the drone, falls back, actually survives. Durka will slow things down as well, and that will buy some time for the rotation, but maybe not. Zoms is straight through, takes down Durka, and Sentinels off to a good start to try to clinch this one.
This mid control coming from Sentinels as well, but a nice shot from Doma will cut that in half. It's now just going to be Shazam lurking up there. Bladestorm ready for him, and he's going to be able to deliver a little Cutco door-to-door onto Doma. And now Sentinels make their move on the post plant. Mystic, he's got a lot going for him, but this is a tall task.
Certainly is. Mystic making his way forward to see what he can get done here. Well, not too much. Shazam, excellent final round to close things here. Sentinels look like they're in so much trouble as they see Fnatic's default. But at the same time, this is a map, unlike Icebox, where on the defense, you can get a lot more aggressive on the extremities or the middle of the map. It's your choice.
And I believe Fnatic do have for their attack defense win rate, their percentage for attack is better, so this feels great for them. And I love the fact that a lot of teams are doing it, and we haven't mentioned it though, the Sky and the Sages coming back into the mix. We don't talk about resetting the entire composition that much. And that's exactly what those two can offer, especially when you're going up against damaging things like Hot Hands, Shazam coming in with Shock Bolts, and TenZ hitting people with darts from far away. You can recoup that health, and Fnatic can reset. It's one of the biggest strats that they have, and looks like they're actually just going to go pull the trigger on a C here, lofting a digital molly over the top.
Yeah, fast C-take coming through, so it's retake territory already, coming in for Sentinels. There's all the utilities used to grab this spy plant. Dapper will be taking down the wall. They're going to be pretty cautious here in how they try to make the attack. Durka up close and personal with that frenzy, trying to deal with Sick. Oh, great bounce comes through from Shazam. The shocked up will do the damage needed, as now backside is under contestation as Sentinels looking to win that control at the back, and they're going to win every frag as well. So that is what you want to see if you are a Sentinels fan. It's something that is quite difficult sometimes, you know, to get those retakes working. You really have to get the timings right, and you have to kind of work on those positions and make sure that you get them all at the same time. There's a lot of moving pieces there, but Sentinels really made it all connect.
It felt a bit scattered there as Fnatic was in the site. Not too much positioning to make things happen, but knowing there's an Astra on the other side, you cannot just put everyone long C. So the way Sentinels didn't show much means they had all the utility to come in. They didn't actually, Fnatic didn't know where they could set up, because where Sentinels was going to use their utility was unknown. So it looked a bit scattered for Fnatic there, but really it was Sentinels info denying before they used all their utility.
Great shot of the gravity wall there as well. The timing to push him whilst that was active is huge. And we're going to see now the Fnatic squad, you know, spreading out a little bit. A lot of presence towards Garage and C Long. Looking actually like they want to go just for a straight C split here. Durka actually takes down Dapper at the back of C. That's a huge win. It's up to Zombs to do the damage now. With the Spectre, he's going to get absolutely nothing. And Fnatic, they've absolutely crippled Sentinels early on in this round.
Love the guiding light coming through there. The fake on quite a few of them. And the buy again. Fnatic always will go for that buy. We don't see a Marshall this time because it was everybody in the cavalry moving up. Now they encroach on the rest of the map. And you have to expect this. Fnatic will, most of the time we've seen them pressure the same site a few times, get a gauge, get a read on everything, and then start to create a new precedent. And then one of the rounds, somebody's going to push out mid, or somebody will do something alone as opposed to what they were doing as a team previously. That's my prediction for Fnatic here as we continue to move forward. Again, we go 1-1 in our first 2 rounds. At this point on Icebox, we had dueling Blade Storm, so things are paced a little bit here, but it's still going to be a great match.
Yeah, it's always nice to get the Prime Gaming flawless. Nothing, I don't think there was any damage at all, really, onto a single player for Fnatic. They really did a good job.
Pull, shoot. Woo!
It must be fantastic playing with Boaster. What an unending source of energy he must be on the team.
It is a vibe for sure. The man himself. Always great to watch the excitement he's putting out. You can feel it for sure. So we start this round. Ultimate Orbs, not too much of a focus. We do have a bit of a play over towards C here. And it looks like they're just going to keep walking through. Sick feels like there's going to be a bit of pressure. Garage will also be take 3-2 split from Fnatic.
And Durka just straight through that, dashing forwards as once again they go for the C-Long control. It's quite a brawl, but again, not too much to work with the Sentinels except these pistols. So not actually the worst result in the world here. Shazam going to try to bank that shock dart off onto the default spot. Not going to catch that though, as really it's a case of, you know, can we find any weapons? Can we get any additional damage? Durka's up close. Tens, we've all seen what he can do here. Durka's going to respect it, dashing away, re-engaging towards Logs, and Tens will go down as well. And that is Fnatic coming away with the round. They do lose 3 players, but that is still quite okay given the money situation that they're in.
Yeah, and the question is, do they keep sending a message, Dan? Right, these rounds were super aggressive coming in from Fnatic here, and we know they can play that way, but usually it's the information grab from Boaster, the move around the map, and we also see them trending a little bit more towards Astra after the press conference. He is saying, yeah, Brim works for us, and they do now thread in both to their compositions with having Brim still around bind and whatnot, but here we see the play again towards long C. If that's an alt or grab or not, Blade Storm is up right now for Durka. We'll see where he can use that or get taken down by Tens with the jet-on-jet action. Yeah,
fantastic win early on, taking down Durka. And Tens is actually going to reposition towards A long, so he's going to be pushing that slowly but surely. At the same time, Sentinels are starting to feel some of that pressure towards C and Garage once again. It's been a favorite here for Fnatic. They are really trying to condition Sentinels to expect this. Nice flash around the side from Sick. Another one coming through, perhaps. They're trying to slow things down. Seeker's making their way through as well. Desperately trying to hold on to backside. It's a huge position for Sentinels to keep hold of to make sure that they win this round.
They're sharing the same spot. Who's going to pay rent, Dan? That's the question. It's coming up now. Shazam with a few shots, and they start to trade.
Really forced to take the fights here at this point. There's players all over the place. Doma able to take down Zoms. And Tens comes in from the flank now. This could be the play to end things. Fantastic control from him. Takes down Mystic, and it's too easy for Dapper to take down the retreating Doma. And that's going to be Sentinels locking it in.
2-2 as we head to round 5 again. Punch for punch between both of these teams. And it has been setting the pressure. We said Fnatic will have to look to set the tone here, coming in on attack once again. Bring a little momentum even from the last map with it in favor of Sentinels. And now as they start to come back, this will be another win coming in favor of, Sentinels. If they can get it, the money will be all right. Fnatic doing what they can here off of that one to really keep their economy good here. Things can get poor for both teams if this round goes wrong.
Oh, interesting early presence on A, but actually Sentinels calling the bluff. They're spotting it, and they don't see anything A lobby. Instead, it's once again this push around to what feels like Garage, but Fnatic mixing things up here, making play towards middle. It's certainly going to be understood at this point. Completely open, of course. Fnatic looking to set themselves up. It can be hard to play post-plant on this B site, though, so we'll have to see what Sentinels will do in response to this, Rib.
Spam from lower. I wonder when B would come into the mix. Mystic goes down. Hunter's Fury comes across. And they're going to look to plan again. Durkin now focused on that as the rest of the team is focused on the angles. And a nice hold from Magnum. He's in mid. They're kind of trying to organize how they want to play this. Because 2 members of Sentinels are on each side of B.
Yeah, the A-Link, C-Link split through to the sites. Fnatic playing quite a few players on the sites. This actually might be quite helpful for Fnatic's chances to hold this. Here comes the first swing. There's no trade, though, at all. Well, eventually, Tens will find it. In fact, he gets Boaster as well up on top of the structure. We'll see what else Tens can find here as he looms above. Ever dangerous. Doma takes down absolutely everybody except Tens. Can he find him? No. Tens from above. Able to take down Doma, the last player standing. And that's the defuse in, well, I was going to say the nick of time. In fact, there was plenty of time there for Tens. And that's a 3-2 finish.
The retakes are so scary. And again, that looked like a bit of a flustered hold. 3 people on the front. Magnum actually left his position and window to pull up. And it's because once you're smoked out on mid, it's actually so hard to regain that position back and just fire through at somebody defusing the spike. So here, it gets really clustered inside B, even with the forward plant, right? Even with the plant for someone in window, Fnatic weren't playing for that. And it seems like they're getting sorted now by Sentinels on that retake. It is only 1 round there. We'll see if Sentinels can keep up that pace in the retakes.
And once again, we get that opening kill from Tens, just controlling the A side of the map really effectively. That's a huge problem for Fnatic to have to find some kind of solution for. It can't be that Tens is able to just win control there so easily every round. Yeah. And, I mean, there's lots of time left, but at this point, there's certainly a lot to be done here for Fnatic. Looking to take this garage control. There is that tripwire there. That's going to alert Sentinels as to what's going on. Oh, I love this from Sig. Looking to find a timing on the C long push. He's also able to get lots of info, because if it was going to be a C play, then Sick would probably spot players here. So this tells Sentinels so very much about the rotations here for Fnatic and where they are going.
Playing for quick hits as it comes into A here. They're going to be in pretty precarious positions on the side of Sentinels as this A hit comes in. That's going to be the peak from Tens, though. And this looks like it'll be a committal, Dan.
Yeah, they have that lockdown coming through as well, and Zoms is going to try to get their kill. Nice snap from Zoms! He might be able to get out of there in time as well. You can see the pursuit is in, but indeed, Zoms has made it to safety. That's a beautiful play from him, and that will give Sentinels the advantage. There goes the Cosmic Divide. Dapper straight through the window. No fear from him, leaving Boaster on the flank, and they know where Boaster is. Or they have a good idea because they spotted him just previously around that B position. And Boaster, there's no time for him to do anything else. Sentinels, fantastic result from them, 4-2. It was almost a great recovery from Fnatic that had all the makings of a comeback in the late round, but didn't come to fruition.
And Sentinels just aren't biting on a lot of these moves. They're ready for a few people to hold. They'll take some shots, and before one of them goes down, they'll usually grab a few. We see Tens grabbing a few, goes down. And what Fnatic was doing yesterday to find their round wins on Haven attack was really stretch out what they were finding in information, then be able to move to the other side of the map and power in numbers any spike site. Here, you have Tens and you have just a few holding the site, so Fnatic can't get their plays to result in a win.
And I just love the sense that Sentinels had Sick pushing down C long in that last round. I think it was just such a strong move.
Yep.
Just to stay ahead on the information game, always important. And Fnatic looking once again to go for this C split. Looking for that early information, sending out the Hound. And Sentinels, they're in position to hold back site again. Again, this is such a crucial position to hold. 6 up on the platform. Fantastic work from Sentinels. They are dropping Fnatic members with ease at this point. Only 2 remaining at this moment. The Seekers will go out. Boaster on the flank, but Tens with the daggers is lethal.
So for that round, Dan, I look at how long Fnatic was there at long C. That one ult point that we did see Mystic get to bring up Seekers was standing next to them the whole time, making what that engage would have been so much stronger. Instead of filing in with a few angle shots, you know, Dapper finds you, a few more find you, Tens hits you, and then not having the Seekers for the take, but the Seekers for the mid part of the execution. So I feel like the ult orb can be focused more there at long. They have the Astra for the fake. The gate's already being used for Dapper on defense, so the time is there. Maybe a little more ult orb focus can really bring those plays to fruition here for Fnatic. 5-2 as we come into round 8. And it looks like Sentinels are feeling good with their positioning and maybe even aggression here from Sick.
Yeah, the hot hands will slow things down a lot. Right now, Fnatic have to go fast, but the utility is really holding them at bay, and the rotation is going to come through. The dash from Dirk is in, but he gets taken down again. Reinforcements is already here. The cavalry have arrived, and it wasn't even necessary. Great hold coming through from Sentinels. I think as soon as they spotted that gravity well, they knew exactly that it was a fast play, and that all they had to do was just delay, and they would be in an advantage.
Quick call from Sick there as he holds with the hot hands too, so they back up. And it looks like we may have a quick pause coming through for the moment as we see what's going down. Maybe just a quick pause for team pause, rather. I think just usually the smoke clouds are something that makes it harder to control the site, but Tens is just making his own playground in there, Dan. They'll have the economy, so a lot more happening than just them shooting each other at this point here, 9 rounds in, and we'll see how that econ plays out here. The gun round that could really matter to get some rounds back for Fnatic, or do more go in the favor of Sentinels.
Yeah, and once again we actually see Fnatic with some early presence on A, just with utility, but just falling off immediately. And it looks like we might actually have Sick pushing A short here, so difference there. And Tens up on the structure. Dirk is going to walk straight into his crosshairs. And the C split once again seems to be the order of the day here for Fnatic. Down a man, but if they're able to get in against Dapper, they might be in for some good times. Dapper gets concussed, he's in trouble. There comes the Cloudburst to keep him away from harm's way just for the moment, but Fnatic seem to win every battle, and they have the site.
Player standing.
What a much-needed round, and the way they're performing it as well, happening beautifully, only losing Durka, and they'll be able to get much-needed econ throughout that. A great play as well. A lot of the plays have been fast. They're sticking to that. They're trusting each other's shots and confidence on the commitment of these executions. A lot of times, if you're not, your teammates are checking second angles. You're not where you're looking where you're supposed to be, but these are getting cleaner and cleaner from Fnatic as they seem to shake off a bit of the rust of what was maybe in their minds from game 1 here. They're getting real focused now.
Yeah, great timing from Fnatic on the 2 defenders at the back of the C site. And we'll see if there's any changes here now. From Sentinel's side of things, they may opt to try to mix things up a little bit. We get the knives coming out from Durka. Tens is in a forward position and A short. This is dangerous. Able to take down the Hound as he falls back. And, oh, just barely escaping. Down to 50 health. One more knife would have done it. But Tens still lives. And Fnatic, They're forcing some respect here because, you know, it's 3 players towards A at the moment. Tens is going for the big rotation towards C, it seems. Although he seems unsure, actually, going back and forth. So that just tells you the fact that Tens is going back and forth like that on the minimap suggests that Sentinels really don't know at this point whether it's rotation or whether they're going to recommit to A.
Kind of either timing the lean or committing him to 1. So they commit him to 1, and they time the lean now for everybody else here. What information is being grabbed that lets them know? They do hear Killjoy, and I think that's what in Garage starts to pull everybody over. The divide plus Killjoy sound, and now they're like, wait, nothing's happening yet. What a strat from Fnatic, completely routing Sentinels. But Sentinels as well feel like they are a retake team. We know this, we see this, and still feel comfortable in this situation. Let's see how both teams play it with 5 up.
Spike planted.
And back them, can't take down Zombs. That's a big problem. Mystic on the site, it's got a lot to do, able to take down Tens from up high, but there's so many players. The flash comes through, nowhere to work off. In the corner, burning in the hot hands. Mystic still alive somehow. Doma keeps him alive for a moment longer. Into a 2 versus 2 here. Fnatic, they pick up the res. Doma is doing more with Mystic. Oh my god, Fnatic, that's so incredible from them. How on earth they managed to pull that one off, I will never understand, but it was beautiful. That is to be sure.
You look at Doma, Dan, the sneaky res bait. In that moment of chaos, you want to win the round, and you hear that res and think, oh, I can peek out. And then realize what the situation is. The other team is not actually in much chaos as you thought. They're ready to play off the res. Doma with the big head play there to bring up a teammate, save that teammate, and capitalize on the round for Fnatic. That whole round from Fnatic looked really good, and it's what they needed to start getting back in this. Let's see if they can do it again, as Sentinels are starting to get on those shaky buys. But it is a Blade Storm here for Tens to make sure it all works.
Oof, Tens has got a really poor position, so they could actually just fall all the way back if they wanted to off of that A side completely. The drone will come through though. Again, it could serve as bait for Tens.
I've got your trail.
Will they check for this? Get a lot of aggression in the mid position as well. He's able to pick himself up a kill on a weapon. Zom's backside on B, still causing problems, spamming through the Astra smoke. Is able to take down at least 1. In comes the Hunter's Fury as well to add insult to injury. From the hands of Shazam as Mystic goes up close, wants to get the punish. Oh, that's the jump right click from Tens to deal with Mystic. And now it's down to Boaster, and he is in a world of hurt here. He is very far away from that spike as well. There we go, Sentinels, 7 rounds against Fnatic's 4, looking great in this first half.
Last round in the half.
And the pressure, you know, of 1 match in their favor. Still a lot of game to go here in the second one. Here, a little result of aiming at someone that's not looking at you. We've all been there. Still capitalizes on the kill. Dapper onto Doma, and then these trades as well. The fast play. As you see that neural uplink come up, the instant blink, the instant bye-bye. And then Dapper sets up for the last kill. And that was a fast one from Fnatic. They kind of went away from what they've been doing, hit B as quick as possible, and the setup just wasn't there right away. If they found Zom sooner, I think we would have seen a much different play, but somehow Zom's kept himself alive and spamming there.
I was about to ask the question if they know about Durka, but there is a drone coming forward. Tens will get spotted. He has to dash away. Ooh, great timing from Boaster. Takes down Sig. Huge opportunity because right now Fnatic are not committed one way or the other. They have a minute to play with. Deep position from Boaster. We'll see what he can do as he's against Dapper. The spray through is good for Dapper. That's going to even things up, 4 versus 4. And looks like Fnatic, they are going to commit onto this A site.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's rare you see Garage play. There has to be a play off the ball here. It's the A play for Fnatic. 1 minute left in the round. Cosmic Divide comes up. And we're going to see how it's going to be worked here. Up over. Doma wants to get a little 5-head play going up, so they got different angles they're entering the site at, and it only works for a few. Sentinels will find that one. They seem impenetrable at this point, Dan, as it is now first half 8-4 in favor of Sentinels. They are now on attack.
Yeah, such a great half from them. And you know, Fnatic definitely struggled with Tens. I think early on, it's fair to say, Tens did a lot of great damage around the A short and A long positions. It seemed like, generally speaking, that was a sanctuary
Right.
for the Sentinels team. Nothing really. They always look quite confident there. They deflected a lot of pushes.
Yeah.
There was the C splits where Fnatic were winning their rounds. And as we switch halves here, it could
Yep.
be a very different story.
And we talked about coming in, with their small stylistic differences in agent pools and metas that they run in single duelist and double duelist and a bit of util, and also how they kind of play towards being very, very strategic minded, just a thinking man's game. We said that Sentinels would be able to beat Fnatic if one player was kind of able to pop off and pull Fnatic out of that structure they like to play in. Here we got a little bit of that 10 out of 10s as he was pushing forward on defense. Now it could be even more effective on offense, but Fnatic wants to start off strong Magnum with the Frenzy to get that first frag on the board.
Dirk is on the chase here in window. There goes the flash from Sky to give him an assist. Dapper's able to escape though, and Bosa's coming for him as well. Dapper is just so slippery at the moment. He's got 4 players on him at the moment, so he's eventually going to go down. And in the meantime, his teammates, all 3 of them, have made their way through B into the A site for A plants. It's going to be a difficult hold against 5 players, but they at least do have the opportunity to do so. And they're going to hear the thunderfooting of the entire Fnatic roster coming up the A long and A short positions. Oh, this is going to be a tough hold. Zoms has that frenzy. There we go. Picks up 1. A second one coming through from Zoms, and that might make the difference. 2v2 now. Shazam picks up another. It's up to Zoms to finish it off. He's got 22 health. He is extremely weak. Mystic has to try to bait him out, but Zoms is not falling for it. He is not going to call this at all. He's going to just force the stick. Such a great play from Zoms. Now just jiggling, but has he done enough?
Beautiful.
He hasn't done enough. Mystic, beautiful indeed. And Fnatic will barely clinch that pistol. My goodness.
Smart play by Mystic. I think as you dig deep into that one and look at the small things, there's probably knowledge in the round. That was the frenzy he was fighting against versus a Ghost. You can go to half. Just the calmness he was able to play that with, if we're really thinking about what Mystic was thinking. He probably wasn't afraid. He's like, oh, there's a frenzy on the other side. Yeah, he might dink me, but I'm just going to be able to do this. Boom.
Whoa.
It is close, but he had the upper hand a lot of ways there, and Mystic played it very smart.
Yeah, Mystic's been coming up huge in some of these clutch moments in this series so far, and that is just one more. And back into it we go, and looks like Tens is trying to get some love with that Sheriff as he pushes towards the B site. And we know how much he can do with that.
Oh,
Burka,
you were saying?
yeah, he's got that Marshall on the go. We saw it on Icebox, didn't get too much with it, but this time is different. He's looking at the spike too, so he's just going to stare at that because that is key information. And you can see the Asher Smoke comes forth to allow a pickup. Actually recalls the star.
Yeah. Quick recall, little play, a little tag, maybe one more, goes for the dash. A little flashy play as they trade damage, both down to about 40 and 24 HP for Tens. It looks like they might want to be. Is this the run in, slam the spike B, and run out to go flank from every other position? Here comes Dapper, and he does have it in hand. They get the mollies out early from Killjoy, so this might work if they get the smokes down in the plant. Whoops.
The Sheriffs are starting to do some damage. 3v3 now. As Doma looks to go close, but how much does he want to risk? They're going to swing for this one against Doma. Oh, turns away from the flash. Able to make it work, though, with the help of Mystic. That was extremely scary. I have to say, I actually love what Sentinels did there instead of trying to plant the spike, which was guaranteed, and I think they know it. They were like all just swinging on that one player. That was really smart.
Yeah. Doma, nice job cutting the angle. Mystic, a great job as well coming around as they figured out what Sentinels is doing. I love when teams will delay a little bit, right? You saw Shazam run all the way to the back, and you're like, well, maybe this makes Fnatic peak a little bit more because they're rushed. But Fnatic are reading the game very well right now. They're not going to get in there before they have to. They want to see everything about the big picture before they execute. And there, the big picture came to them as the strat was to encroach forward more for Sentinels. Here we got a little bit of C-Love starting off. We are 8-6 as we head to round 15. Fnatic are picking it up.
Yeah, they definitely are. This is great for them. Sentinels, after showing that initial presence, will be rotating back. And there's just so many options for them
Here.
in the mid-round.
consideration for pushes. You can see Sentinels are like, we haven't cleared this yet. So playing very aware of what could happen.
Fnatic might be looking to get some information around this timing. You can see Magnum might be thinking about it. They've got a couple players to Fnatic in the garage position. They also are pushing C-Long at the same time. Boaster sees a player. So information now. And Sentinels will work their way towards that B site. Then go the Astra smokes. Tens is back site. Tens actually has the spike. It's going to be finally planting that one on the left side.
Spike planted.
This is scary stuff, I've got to say, Rip. 5v5 retake.
This is so absurd to see actually on a B take. Everybody on the outside, they're leaving it to the last moment, so the utility use has to be super impactful. Running in, Durka gets tens, and that's going to be the start.
Oh, this is a problem for Sentinels right now. The defuse is coming through, the stick is coming through, it's almost there. Oh my god, the spray is going to do it! And it's... Oh no, it's basically a mausoleum on the side there. It's all the bodies in one place. Sick. Coming in quite clutch there. That actually, I thought for sure they were going to actually get the stick there. Looks very close.
Yeah. Oh my word. I mean, it's what you got to try, right? One of the dangerous things about Sentinels, we talk about all the time, is their ability to retake. That happens in two phases of the game. When you're on defense and for your post plant. So for 5 Sentinels to be alive at the end of their post plant is still very scary. You're getting the full package coming through, and they know how to do it very well. So they play their game, retake it is after a plant, and Sentinels have control in that way if they keep getting to these sites.
Oh, this is very scary. They could be walking straight into Durka here with those knives. Oh, guess one! Tens is down.
Great
Durka,
shots.
another one coming through the updraft, looking to find additional damage out of those knives. He might just do it. Out comes the Marshal. But he's done enough. He has done enough for the team. Fnatic, 4 versus 2. Are in a great position now. Mystic has that forward position in window as well, so able to keep track of his opponents. But that cam is going to force him back, the tag. And they're making the run, Riff. They're making the run away.
Oh. Try to meet. Doma knows that was a little late, so they are into sight. Trailblazer's going to give him a little bit more info. I don't know if anybody plays under hell on this one, but it's going to be the 4v2 spike plant here for Dapper and Shazam. Fnatic looking to grab this one back to bring the rounds even closer.
30 seconds left.
And here comes Magnum to make matters worse.
Ooh.
Lovely stuff. You can see the gravity well completely destroyed everything there. They needed to get Spike down to that precise timing. And that gravity well allowed them to come out of the choke points.
Tens versus Durka. I love it. I love it right now. Little jet on jet action. We're seeing the 2 highlight players here that kind of are known come in. Everybody's good on these teams. We know that. But it's always good to see those 2 get a little rivalry going here if they're able to produce it within the matches. Our second map here in the series. This is, remember, one needs for Fnatic to keep themselves here in the upper bracket, to keep themselves in this best of 3 with Sentinels throughout the match. And usually it's that kind of one and done strat. You might have your penalty shot for overtime, you know, to make sure you get that round. We are into round 17 right now. Mystic with Seekers up, Sentinels, Hunter's Fury, Bladestorm, and Cosmic Divide. You do have lockdown from Magnum on deck. Is he in a position to grab that? No, they're at Garage. And it looks like it might be a little bit of love for the long A side here as we see the Astras orbs from Zombs going down. Stars, rather.
Yeah, Sentinels, what is the play here? They've got that early control around A lobby. Pushing through
down.
the smoke to A long.
Whoa.
With the aggression from Garage, that early information. Sentinels might actually just want to commit here. Especially after deflecting that early aggression. Sentinels could even actually cut noise even longer, but they're going to contact in. I love this. Ten's making his way forward with the knives. There goes the updraft as he tries to get the entries. The right click misses from Tens, and Fnatic are defending this one. Uh-oh, this is a problem. That's the spike now down on the ground on the long ramp, and Fnatic are just pulling Sentinels apart piece by piece for the Prime Gaming flawless.
Ice cold from Doma. The Hunter's Fury ripping through him, a jet flying over his head, does not matter. Hits the shot spot on, makes it out alive, assessing every threat, and the Prime Gaming flawless. What a play. Both teams as well. The execution was there from Sentinels, but thwarted. Whoop, little sidestep, jump out by Fnatic.
And it would be such a different round, I think, if TenZ picks up that kill. So such a crucial moment in that round. And that's Fnatic 8 now, just one round the deficit against Sentinels in this second half.
Spikes down here, Dan. Looks like a slower round as that gets picked up on the side for Shazam. They're still back by T-Hall as they're splitting the map ever so slowly. And Six actually going to put a little pressure Garage. They're going to say, yeah, we're doing this. It's an eco round. We want to see how you react. It looks like Fnatic wants to turtle a little bit here, read the play more, and they'll give up C for now, saying, yeah, they're going to rush it. A good chance one of us goes down for a one and done. Let's make it a better play. And the sneaky Sick comes up big with the first blood.
Yeah, they had absolutely no idea. That's such a big kill to get. Bosa would be such an issue on the retake, but now he's out of the equation entirely thanks to Sick. And they can get that spike planted, and that is exactly what they're going to do. An open plant. Not much util remaining, though, for Sentinels. That might be an advantage here. Cosmic Divide does come through. There's a res as well used by Fnatic to get Bosa back in. Oh, this is going to be
Dapper
tough.
here. Dapper with a big flank as they start this, Dan. Side entry starting.
We'll see what he's able to do. His timing might be a little bit off here. He's quite far back at this point. The spike is already being diffused here by Fnatic. TenZ able to find the headshot onto Durka. The pressure is coming through, though. Still a problem. That spike keeps getting restarted on the defuse. Doma has to stick it, but TenZ nails Doma with that Marshal at distance. Great round from Sentinels. Oof, that was a close one. After the res and the Cosmic Divide, I just had no idea who was going to come out ahead on that one. The flash is flying through it. But this was fantastic from Sick. You know, there's a few ways they could have played this position once he gets it. He knows at that point, oh my god, I can't believe what we're seeing here from TenZ. But after you get that forward position on Sick, you can either try to bait rotations into him. Woo! Oh my god, it's just disgusting, isn't it? Or you can try to wait to see if they're going to recheck it. And we're straight back into the action here, Riv.
Dan, I'm not sure how something just came across my mind, but remind me in just a second as we get through this round. Shazam starting off there big, and it looks like that is going to cause a pause for Fnatic here as they slowly play this. Durka loves short. He loves short A. This is his vibe spot, and it's going to be a 1. It's going to be a 2 for Durka as he gets out.
Yeah, fantastic pickup. That's a spot that you can sometimes get massive value from. What a time to get it. Fnatic now might be finding their way onto the site just in the right moment. Bosa back sight. Does he know someone's already ahead? Oh my god, the knives flying past Bosa, takes down Zoms, and there's Magnum for the assist. And it looks like that's a wrap. This could be a good time for the mental note for you, Riv, to remind yourself.
It actually is, because we're looking at Shazam. The mental note is about the Sova. As Shazam plays this out, let's talk about what happened in the previous half when Fnatic, okay, Shazam goes down. Fnatic was planning aggressively on sites. They planted on B, they planted on C, but they never went long. We just saw Sentinels have a strat where they went long and utilized this Sova to clear out any frags through the smokes. Without a Sova, without something to ping themselves back in, the plants we saw from Fnatic in the sites where they couldn't separate, they couldn't get out, that Sova would have been very big. So just a recall for last half. I said those were chaotic. It's kind of just because they didn't have the util to set up those post plants from far away. So seeing the Sova come in big, Sentinel's able to make use of that in rounds. But Fnatic there, shutting down Shazam to bring us almost to a tie here in map 2.
And Durka playing on top of the Radiant boxes this time around on C. He's done it a couple of times, trying to cause problems with the knives usually, but we'll get spotted out this time around. Heavy presence from Sentinels towards C long. Might be trying to contact through. It's always scary to do this. Sick in a position for the run it back if he chooses to go through all of this. And he could try to do that, and that's... All right, they're going to go with it. Straight in, goes Sick with the run it back. The dash comes through as well. As Sense comes out, but he goes down. Zoms with the trade onto Durka and Bosa. There's still players here for Fnatic causing problems on the site. There's so much work to be done here from Sentinels, and it looks like they may have done everything they need to at least get somewhere safe to plant this spike, but maybe no. There's no respite for Sentinels because Fnatic just don't stop the aggression.
No!
Sentinels lock it in though.
The self-flash on the way in, that was still the peak from Mystic, not knowing Doma was just off the corner and that guiding light hit him, so a bit disjointed on the take. I mean, they had to go fast, right? It's part of the play that brings itself out. But it's just, Fnatic is really being stretched in before they're getting to the spike site. Sentinels are doing a great job at winning the fights they need to win and really using the power in numbers with a little bit of utility to get themselves into these positions to be successful in the round. Plant money too coming in. They've been, one of the biggest things is the way Sentinels has worked the econ game to allow themselves into these buys we've been seeing, right? A Marshall round to bring them back in just a few rounds ago.
I love this here from Durka, the walkout mids. Oh, it could be walking through a massive hole here. You can see Dapper is in position to try to cover for these eventualities, but it is a game of timing. Just holding position in window for the moment. Oh, Hunter's Fury absolutely nailing Doma in the A site. And that might be the opportunity now for Durka to get his flank on. But will he get there in time? Mystic with a nice hold, gets traded through, but still, it's about this flank from Durka. Can he activate this one? The knives are out. Sick doesn't know about it. There's the first kill. Able to dash away. Dapper can't plant the spike, and in from the back again. Durka comes through, opens it up for Magnum to lock it in.
Leaps himself off the top. Great landing. 10 out of 10. 11 to 10, though, is the scoreline. Fnatic clawing their way back and doing it with great rounds each time. And it is coming down to the last drop. We're seeing one person alive on each side, and sometimes it's a 2 or a 3K to get us there as these teams are literally pressuring each other to the last moment here. Round 22, 11 to 10, another map going punch for punch here once we get towards the end. And we're gonna see how this one happens. You have the Zoms ult, Cosmic Divide on deck. Seekers are there for Mystic, and they use them right away. Push on C.
Great nano swarm, that, you know, just to delay and split up the efforts towards the A side. It's actually going to be just forced all the way through. Magnum's there through the window. The Seeker's going through else. Also, Durka escaping. And this is going to be interesting here because Sentinels, they have the A site, but the positioning all around the map here for Fnatic for the retake will be quite strong.
So this is the get out, play retake all over again. These strats have been so zany. I love what Fnatic just did there, trying to make a Sentinels play sweaty. Sentinels then really, you could see them rethinking how to play position. It looks like we're reset here for both sides, and Fnatic, the better off in this situation.
Yeah, they've also suggested that there could be a flank, but they're all combining their forces here in the front, in the window, through spawn. Tense has a lot of work on his hands here. He's not going to be able to deal any damage. It's up to Dapper there. Oh, no! What the hell was that from Dapper? Riv, that doesn't make sense. He is alone against 4 players, and he just nails every single one of them with the Phantom.
Yeah,
not necessarily the guy you expect it from on this team.
To the window. You could say to the wall, but yeah. And absolutely 4K instantly. And we say over and over again, anybody on these teams, Sentinel, Duelist, Controller, Initiator, can pop off. The skill is there. It's not about the agent. And we're seeing that here from both teams, Sentinels versus Fnatic. A possible final round in this best of 3.
Absolutely. My jaw is still just dropped on the floor from that one from Dapper. And indeed, Sentinels in such a strong position. They've got a huge weaponry advantage. It did trade out 1-for-1 though, so we'll see if Fnatic can work off of this situation. But normally, a situation like this is hugely beneficial for the attackers as they can spread the defense thin. And you can see that to counteract this, Fnatic are actually grouping up towards this A site. They're actually playing more of a retake gamble. And maybe this works out for them because we can see that Sentinels have set their sights on this A bomb site, in fact.
Playing it slow. A jump in Mystic. I mean, seeing that, Sentinel should be able to read that there are more there. Usually a jumper means they are guarded by someone else, so little tidbits of information they could use. Trailblazer comes out. Oh, one side's not watched, though.
Traded. It's a huge dash from Tens, but still alive here. For Boaster and Magnum, for Fnatic to keep their chances alive and prevent themselves going down to the lower bracket. Lots of work to be done, but it's a quick rotation from Sentinels towards this C site. You can see that very aggressive Cosmic Divide there, locking away Spawn. Oh, Boaster's managed to pick himself up an upgrade, but this is just so difficult. Is Magnum going to make a solo play through this smoke?
He has to wait. They have to draw fake control here. Oh, he doesn't. They come in. So Boaster says, go off my plays. Go off these orbs. We have to be able to hit them and figure out where some are. So now Boaster gets that sentry information to where the players of Sentinels could be.
I know exactly where you are.
And there it is. Dapper's going to lock it in. Sentinels have bested Fnatic in the upper bracket 2-0, but it wasn't anything except a very, very close series. This could have gone